Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Factorio. This is episode number 16 of Recursion. The holiday season of 2018 it's come and gone, and the typical amount of time off that I take to go and visit family and that kind of stuff has happened, and I am back for the new year. We're into 2019. It's time to get back to work. We have a ton of stuff left to do on this base to push the game as far as we can with this base in a box concept. Oh, a little incidental heads up. I'm also going to be gone, unfortunately, from January 10th to the 20th. It's like half vacation and half like stuff I need to take care of that is not related to gaming. It's just something that, well, it's unfortunately close to the holiday season. So we've got like a 10-day period to do stuff, then I'll be gone for 10 days. But then after that, I don't have any further plans for like travel or vacation or anything. Probably not until at the soonest summer 2019. So, a little bit of time to do some stuff, and then I'll be gone for a bit, and then I'll be back, and we can do a lot of things, have a lot of fun. So, here's the state of affairs. We are working on mining productivity 134, and we are about at that point where we have to start using a new mod to address a robot issue and also a lag issue. If you hit F4, most of you are probably familiar with this, there is an entire menu of debug settings. A popular one to turn on is the FPS. You can see that our frames per second and our updates per second is all the way down at 20. Now the max there is 60, so we're operating at about a third of the speed as normal. So when you see me running around, it seems like I'm not moving very fast, but if there was no lag, I would be moving 3 times faster. All the robots would be moving 3 times faster. The simple fact is, we just have so many entities in this base because of the concept and the way we've tried to make it work, that the game just can't keep up. If we go to the production tab, we click on all, we go down to the somewhere around, let's say, here. You can see I've constructed, over the course of this base, 72,000 logistics robots. Probably about 60,000 of those are actively working in the base at any one time. And not only that, the game's got to keep track, not just their flying to and from and what they're carrying, but their personal robo charge. And then they've got to, the game has to keep track of the roboports, how much charge the roboports have, how many robots are charging there. It is a lot of things for the game to keep track of. Every level we've got robots flying around. Every level has roboports. So we need to start addressing that. There is something we can do, and I will show you another little setting here, which is kind of useful. We're looking for active chunks. Okay, let's click on that. You can see my mini-map, oops, went purple. Let's turn off the debug menu. Go into the map. So the active chunks are the chunks that the game is currently, updating or whatever. You can see that it follows the trains. The trains will update a chunk, which is normal. Any mining node is getting updated. That's normal. Any outpost with radars, that gets updated. But we've also got some chunks here in the darkness. That's because of pollution. Pollution activates chunks, which also makes aliens activated. So there's aliens running around here, which we've never even seen or encountered or interacted with. The pollution is interacting with them, which is causing lag, which is kind of a detriment to our game at this point. Now, normally, the purpose of pollution in the game is to force interaction with the aliens, to get them to come attack you as your base gets bigger and bigger. But we're kind of past the point of, being scared of the aliens. I've launched thousands of nuclear missiles. They're no longer a concern. So we might actually, at a certain point, maybe in the next couple episodes, straight up use a console command to turn off pollution and turn off all the aliens. They're not really a focus of the base at this point, and they're just slowing us down because our base has this weird base in a box concept. Another thing is this giant solar panel field has a ton of active chunks because we have roboports, because I constructed it with construction robots, and it's also got a bunch of radars so that we can see this from the map and manipulate it and stuff. Now, the big problem is we've reached a bit of a limit, or at least it seems like it. You can see we've got the iron ore. This is the biggest concern for our base. Pushing iron ore into the base and pulling the iron plates and the steel and gear wheels and stuff back out. That's the highest number of things flying around. You can see that this chest is mostly keeping up, but it's mostly full. We can't request... Well, you could technically update this number to a higher number, but the robots only really ever request the maximum amount that the receptacle, the chest, can hold. So 2.4K is our max there to request. I've tried to modify that or, supplement it with buffer chests around. They can barely keep track of that as well. Now, we do have extra robots in the system, but that chest, that requester chest, was doing okay. So let's track further down into the base. Here is the direct transfer chest. It is basically full, so that step is okay. Let's go into here. This is probably the highest activity zone in the base, is where the ore gets distributed to the steel section and the iron ore section, or the iron plate section, and then all the iron plates and steel plates come back out. So, if we go check this chest, it's full. Okay, so that means, good, we've transported enough ore down to this step. If we look at our roboports, we can see we've got 800 robots, our logistics robots, 1,000 right now, are free. So the system is not even using all the robots, using like 700 at a time. But if we come and we check these chests, they are not keeping up. It's only requesting 2,000, but that's close to the max. And I've got 4 here requesting 2,000. We have extra robots. The problem is, the robots think they're keeping up with this request. It's just being taken out so fast that the amount of response time from the robots, seeing that there's something that needs to be fulfilled, going to the chest and then moving towards it, it's just not enough. We could do another robot speed research here, but we're getting into serious diminishing returns, and they're getting really expensive. 256,000 of each of those sciences is going to take a while, and their current bonuses is up to 760, and they would get like another 65% or whatever. So that would be like a 10% increase. I don't think that's going to cut it. So we need a modded solution. And that mod is Bob's Logistics. Bob's Logistics is a mod that was part of the C-Block mod pack back when we were doing C-Block. And it adds all kinds of different tiers and ranks and speeds to the various different logistics type stuff. All the different belts, all the inserters, all of the pipes, all the trains, all that kind of stuff. There's new tiers of it available, but I only want Bob's Logistics for 2 things. We're only going to use 2 things out of the whole thing. And we need to research them, so let's go in the research menu. We're going to research new tiers of the logistics system chests. Research. We're going to get a tier 2. We're going to go right to tier 3. That's going to be a larger chest, which will hopefully help this problem here. So there will be a higher cap to the amount of logistics requests we can provide to the robots. Hopefully that'll help. We'll see in just a minute. Let's get to the Mark III. That's going to have a inventory stack size, item slots of 80, up from, this thing has 48 inventory spaces. So it's going to be quite a bit bigger. That's done. The other thing we're going to use Bob's Logistics for are very, very, very expensive logistics robots, Mark IV fusion-powered robots. Every single one of these guys is requiring a portable fusion reactor, but they do not require charge. If we look at, for instance, Mark IIs, you can see they have an energy consumption, they have a base consumption, and then a per minute consumption, which is where the roboports come in. But if we go to Mark IVs, they no longer require charging, which is, I'm hoping that helps with the lag. If we require fewer entities, aka a lot fewer roboports, and there's less interaction going on because they're only being used mainly for storage and coverage, not for charging. But they're going to be very expensive, these robots. They'll also be faster. But every single one of them is going to require a portable fusion reactor. I need to start researching these. Portable fusion reactors require 250 processing units. Every single one of those takes 20 electronic circuits and 2 advanced circuits, which is 4 more electronic circuits. It's basically something like every single one of those robots is going to take 6,000 green circuits. It's ridiculous. So it's going to take a while to build all of those, but hopefully we see a difference in the long run. Okay, and all the other stuff I'm just going to ignore. I've already, I think by default, I've unlocked these different pipe types. I don't care. Not going to use them. I wanted to keep it as vanilla as possible. Vanilla plus Factorissimo. And we've added this one mod, and we're only going to use 2 things out of it. And the rest we'll just ignore. After this is done, we'll go back to the normally scheduled research. And then we'll see if this, the new chest size, we'll start with that and see if that helps. Is that done? Okay, we unlocked that. All right, let's go back up here. And let's just go back to mining productivity. Oh, by the way, this mod also includes worker robot capacity with infinite research. I don't think I'm going to be researching this, at least not for a long time. Only if we really, really have to, because it's going to change the way the base interacts a lot. It's going to make it way less vanilla than what I've just done. Even though what I've just done is making it less vanilla. Okay, mining productivity, 153. Let's go out to the top level of the base. I'm stuck on these walls. It's hard to navigate with all the roboports. I've got a bazillion roboports with Factorissimo. It's hard to see how many. You can only see per level. 143 just on this one level. That is a lot of entities interacting. Okay, let's craft some of these chests. We've got the Mark 3s. I'm just going to do, let's do like, just a few right clicks for each type. Just so we can experiment a little and see how it goes. Another mod that I could have used is one that manipulates the stack size of the items. So the iron ore and the copper ore, all the different ore types, they stack to a stack size of 50. And increasing that stack size would have helped with this issue of the robots being able to receive enough orders and, you know, the maximum request we could give them. The only problem there, though, is that would have nerfed this entire train system we worked so hard on, because all the trains would now suddenly be carrying at least twice as much stuff as before, and I didn't want to do that, because I like this train system, and I want to see it in full activity. If we increase the stack size of all those ores, it just means that there's going to be more trains sitting around not doing anything. Okay, what are we looking for here? This is the one we want to update, Logistics Requester. We want to replace it with the Mark 3. Boom. Okay, and now it's got that much space, we can go from 2.4 thousand to 4,000. And we should see an increase in the amount of robots, although until we fill in the different... Yeah, it's already full. Okay, good. Until we fill in the other layers, we won't really notice a big difference, I don't think, because they just fulfilled it. It was already getting a few layers in. It was already full, so... We need to do a little bit more. We need to fill in this one. I don't think I'll be able to reach that. There is no Mark 3 steel chest, so we'll just have to use a... we can use a pass provider or whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as it has a stack size, it's just going to be sitting there, and I can't reach! Alright, I'm going to use my patent-pending squeak under technology. All you squeak-through noobs are probably just getting your mind blown right now. Mark 3, that's just holding that. Okay, then I put the thing back. Squeak under technology. Coming soon to a distributor near you. Maybe I'll list it on Amazon, I don't know. Okay, and then these guys need a passive provider chest. So this was already full before, but now it holds more. Now we need to update these guys that we're never keeping up. We have extra robots still in the system, although less, which I guess is a good sign. Now we've got more. Okay, so it evened out. This is full. These are not. So these need to be requester chests, then we need to update them. I think I need 4. Okay, let's tell this 4,000, and then let's copy those values. And we can go ahead and I'll probably use Update Planner to go around and update things that need to be updated. I just want to do a little test here. So we had like 600 robots free. I just want to see if these things... Where's my mouse? I want to see if they start to increase. And then we'll have to... Oh, look at this! Okay, that one's full. It's hard to see what I'm clicking on. That one's full. This one is starting to fill up. Oh, it's working. It is working. Okay, I think just initially, just eyeballing it, I am suddenly hopeful that we can push this base a little bit farther because this chest is filling up. Before, all of these were basically empty, and now we've got 2.5 full. And 2 half full. So I think they are catching up, and all of my robots are now being used. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to convert over our Logistics Robot Creator Center to make Logistics Robot Mark IV. So while I've been slowly producing Logistics Robot Mark IVs, and it is very slow, I'm making about 7 or 8 a minute because they require so many processing units. We're going to have to scale up processing units next episode. While I've been doing that, and actually for a few days before that, I've been reworking the solar panel farm up to the north. You can tell it's a little bit smaller. It is square, exactly square. It used to just occupy the space of this peninsula. Wasn't that long ago, I thought we were going to have to rely upon solar panels for all of our power, but we moved away from the barrels, which was way too laggy, and now we have all of our power inside the base. So I removed, I don't know, I think something like 100,000 solar panels and the equivalent amount of accumulators, just sort of casually picked up 100,000 solar panels, no big deal. Didn't take that long. It actually took like 2 days. It was a really long process. I got rid of all of the roboports and the radars as well. So if we go down to, if you remember what it looked like earlier in the episode, which I started recording several days ago, active chunks is now, this is now totally empty, and the only active chunks are the little train station here, where I do have a radar, because I've installed a power switch, and we're officially going to unhook it up. We're going to disconnect it. Active chunks, and we can do a little test that it's working properly. So right now, because of the direction of this arrow, it's possible for the nuclear stuff inside our base to send power out to here. But because of all those solar panels out there, I suspect that the solar panels are pulling a little bit of their weight. So let's just reverse this. Let's guarantee that the system works the way I think, just so we can do it visually on camera. We still have power because now the solar panels and accumulators are doing some work. Now they've kicked in. They're providing like 500 megawatts. I've stopped doing research because I want the robots to be idle so we can pick them up and replace them with a higher version. All right, let's go all the way up here. Now, when I disconnect this, everything not connected to here, and I'll turn on the power systems, you can see, it actually is a different color. We've got a green line instead of a blue line. Isn't that neat? This is the first time I've ever noticed that or seen it because I've never used a power switch. I don't normally have a reason to use one, but now we do. Okay, zoom in here. This is why the radar is here, and the radar is connected to the solar panel field, so we will always be powered. Even if our base crashes, I'm going to unpower it. Now the lights on the right are out of power. All this stuff is out of power, and the roboports are going to start draining. I don't think they instantly drop power. I guess as they get used, yeah, as they get used, their electricity will drop. Now everything's out of power. Let's reverse this. Now we're sending our power back out. We have power again. Hooray! So actually, this is the first moment in the entire history of the first Recursion series and this second Recursion series where we have realized the dream of putting everything in the base besides the trains and the outposts. 350 hours later and 30-some episodes, or however many episodes, I don't know how many, we actually did it. We put everything inside the base, and we have a backup system ready to go should we need it. But until we need it, or if we need it, I'm just going to keep that switched off. Hooray! All right, so now that I haven't done research in a while, I should be able to pick up a lot of robots here. And I've crafted 500 fusion-powered Logistics Robot Mark IVs. Each one of those is 6,000 green circuits, remember? Or I guess maybe a little bit less because of productivity bonuses, but not that much less. I think I can run around here, yeah, and just, I can control-click the roboports to take out the dormant logistics robots. Okay, so finally, after several minutes of wrangling, I managed to get all the slow robots out. I put all the fast robots in and then picked up these from random roboports, and then I picked up more of the fast ones. So we've got 100 of the Mark IVs. Let's do some research so that we can see them in action. We got to bring the base back up to full capacity. We're only processing 21,000 iron plates per minute, and our peak is at around about 100, high 90s, 90,000s. somewhere in there. The whole base is going to come back online, and then we'll start to add robots. We'll see how they perform with their faster speed and never needing to charge. I can already kind of tell the difference. The only reason they're going back to the roboports is to go back to storage. We don't even need 100 right now, but in a second, we're probably going to need more. Okay, so last little update. I've let the base run for a pretty good amount of time. I put all 500 of those robots in there, the fast ones, the Mark IVs, and they are more than keeping up. And we've broken through our old threshold, our previous top amount of iron. I've been using iron plates as a benchmark because that's the building we're in. Previously, we were producing a little bit less than 100,000 a minute, in the high 90s, and now we are in the 1-teens. 117,000 minutes. So this is working, and I think we can move forward. And we've also increased the amount of steel. The highs before were in the around 8,000. Now we're 10,000. So that's pretty good. We've got extra robots, and I'm hoping that as we convert over, we'll also try to get some frames back. We're still hovering with the base fully operational around 20. I've removed something like 4,000 roboports. And the different floors, they look really empty now, which is a little bit weird after seeing them so full for so long. We still want these configurations for the short travel times. But we might, I don't know what we're going to do. We will, of course, do more with the coloration. Now that I know we don't need as many roboports. We probably won't convert over every floor because it's going to be too expensive. We're going to do the ones that have the most activity first, like that one with the iron. The green circuits and the copper are going to need some help. And then these floors here are going to probably need some help eventually as well, where all the finished stuff is flying around on one floor. Let's run to the outside and see what that looks like. Lots of robots flying around. The only floor with the new robots is that one iron floor. So all these are the normal robots flying at 1/3 speed because of our frame rate. But next episode, I guess we're going to try to fill in all the layers in the base that are responsible for producing blue circuits, red circuits, green circuits, plastic for the red circuits, and then as much iron and copper to support that, so we can make Mark IV robots as fast as possible and start speeding up the base with the new methods. That's it for this episode, though. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.